Yo, this is Mr. O. Yo, this is Mr. O. And today we're going to learn about parallelogram. Parallelogram, there's a key word there, parallel. It's something that we need to know about parallelogram. Okay, let's go ahead now. Use the following when given a parallelogram. So what's the definition of parallelogram? A parallelogram is a quadrilateral, means it's four-sided with both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. So if you're going to look at the illustration here, this side here and that side needs to be parallel. The opposite side here, the yellow one, has to be parallel. The theorem, if a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, it has two sets of opposite sides that are congruent, meaning to say these opposite sides are congruent. If this is 8, this has to be 8. This opposite side here has to be congruent. This is 10, that's 10. They could be both 10. That's fine, you know. So as long as the opposite side needs to be congruent. Theorem on angles. If a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, it has two sets of opposite angles that are congruent. So the opposite side of this angle is the right on the other part of the corner of the quadrilateral or parallelogram. They need to be congruent there. And also the other opposite side needs to be congruent. Okay? So meaning to say, if I tell you that this one is 70, this has to be 70. All right? If I tell you this is 110, this has to be 110. And what do you notice? If this is 70, that's good. If this is 110, that's good because they're opposite angle. But look at the 70 and 110. When you add 70 and 110, that will be how much? 180 degrees. And look at the next theorem. If a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, it has consecutive angle which are supplementary. The meaning of consecutive is the one the next to it, the next side by side, not the opposite, but beside it, it will be supplementary. Then is supplementary equal to 180. So meaning if this is 70, the next to it there is 110, which is when you add them is equal to 180. Or if you pick the other side, which is right here, it's also 110. They're both going to be equal to 180. So look at the illustration here. This angle here and that angle there are supplementary. If you don't like to choose that one, you can pick this angle and this one here, which will also be supplementary. Okay. Next, about the diagonals. If a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, it has diagonal which bisect each other. So means say if this is diagonal and the other diagonal is the blue one, then they bisect each other. Means say the blue one is cut into equal part. And so basically that's a midpoint. And the black diagonal, these two here are equal also. Their midpoint of the black and the blue segments are the same. And the next one here, if a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, it has a diagonal which form two congruent triangles. So meaning, if this is one of my diagonals, this triangle 1 and triangle 2 are congruent. Remember, corresponding parts of a congruent triangles are congruent. Okay, so whatever the corresponding to this side here has to be congruent of its corresponding parts of the other triangle. Okay, let's solve and apply the properties. So we are given quadrilateral a parallelogram ABCD. If this one here is 68, how much would this be? That's going to be 68 also. If that's 68, we know the supplementary angles are, the consecutive angles are supplementary. So 180 minus 68, 180 minus 68 is 112. So this is 112 and this has to be 112 also. And if this is 15 here, this has to be also 15 because they're opposite sides. And if this one here is 8, this has to be also 8. Okay, so AD is 8, DC is 15, angle A is 112, angle B is 68, angle C is 112 also. Easy, kaboom. Next, we have a quadrilateral RSTU. We know that this one here is 18, so this is also 18. We know this is 27, so this has to be 27 also. RT is 30. If that's 30, so remember the diagonals bisect each other. So the V is the midpoint. So this has to be 15. That has to be 15 because half of 30 is 15. This 7 here, this has to be 7 also. Very easy, right? So therefore, what's UT? UT is also 27. ST is 18. VS is 7. And VT is going to be 15. If this is 21, therefore this has to be also 21, this side here. Why they have to be the same? Because these two lines are parallel. And this is my transversal line. So therefore, these two angles here are alternate interior angles. So they have to be both 21. So this has to be 21 also. Now, same thing with this. This is my parallel line. This is my transversal. If that's 71, this has to be 71 also, right? So right now I have 71 here, 21 there. Done? Now, it says here that FED is 134. Where's FED? FED. So the entire thing here is 134. So 134 minus 71, this will give me 363. So this has to be 63 here. This has to be 63 also there because the blue one are alternate interior angle. Okay, so now let's focus on the triangle right here. That's remember, the triangle is the sum of the angles in the triangle is equal to 180. If we have a 21 there and a 63, 21 plus 63 is equal to 84, and 84 minus 180, that will give us 96. So we know that this angle here is 96. And we know that this one is also 96 because they're vertical angles. And we apply the same thing over here. This is a linear pair to the 96. They're supplementary. So 180 minus 96 will give us 84. So therefore, this will be 84 here and 84 there. Okay. And for us to know the other parts of the angle here, these two here, we have a triangle here. They should be equal to 180. So 84 plus 71 is 155. Subtracted from 180 will give you 25. So this is 25 here, and that's 25 there. Kaboom. So now let's complete this one here. What is DEC? DEC will be 63. CDE. CDE. So you add 25 and 21, that will give me 46. ECD. ECD is 71. And DFE. DFE is 25. There you have it. Kaboom. And last one here, find the measurement of angle R. What do we know about angle R here? Okay, we're looking for angle R, but let's try to understand what we know based on the given. What do we know about these two here? They are consecutive. So if they're consecutive, when you add them all up, it's equal to 180. That gives you 8x minus 12 plus 3x plus 5 is equal to 180. Combine the like terms. I have 8x plus 3x, which is 11x. Negative 12 plus 5 is negative 7 equals 180. Add 7 on both sides. That will give you 11x equal to 187. And 187 divided by 11 is equal to 17. So now we know x equals 17. We will plug in 17 to angle P. because P and R are opposite angles, so they're going to be equal. So 3 times 17 plus 5, this will be 51 plus 5 is 56. So angle P is 56, and likewise your angle R is 56 degrees. There you have it. And that's how you apply the properties of parallelogram. As always, kaboom.